What's up, Damien here? Just doing a little thinking out loud here. But I was just thinking about, isn't it kind of strange how Israel like officially became Israel in 1948? I mean, like people were not there like in 1948, like just getting there. People were already there, but they, officially became a country in 1948. But they got there in 19 in the early 1900s, 1916, Balfour Declaration. But isn't it weird? Isn't it strange that a country so small and a country so new was able to get nuclear weapons roughly around the mid to late 60s? Isn't that strange? You ever think about that? And think about this too. I know people are very stupid and indoctrinated. Hey, I was one of them just a few months ago. It doesn't take long to do research, guys. You can have the same knowledge I do, just a little bit of effort. It didn't take me long to obtain and retain all this information. But one thing to think about, and I only think about this stuff after the fact. Like I already know like how my quest ends and like the answers to all these questions that I have. But I want to take you guys along with me because I was able to actually document my awakening. It was the craziest thing. But anyway, think about this: nuclear weapons in the '60s by Israel, and yet nobody questions it. And USA, I know. Oh, that's where I was going. So people try to say that they think that USA needs Israel so we can have a base in the Middle East. That's complete ignorance. Okay, anybody just watch the Johnny Harris video on YouTube titled "Every U.S. Map Based." It gives you great perspective about America's crazy military reach. We have so many bases compared to like the top five. We have like more than the top five combined, if you don't count us. So we have military bases all over the Middle East, way closer in proximity to potential enemies than where Israel is. So we don't need Israel for proximity to be close to other places in the Middle East. So think about this. If the USA wanted to, make the Middle East a democracy, they don't. That's what they sell you, but they don't. But if they did, don't you think it would have made a lot more sense for the USA to rub elbows with one of the many Muslim countries? If you know your knowledge, if you know where the military bases are in the Middle East, then you know that the USA has a lot of bases in Qatar and Saudi Arabia and all over. I mean, just look all over the Middle East. We have bases in multiple Muslim countries. So don't you think that's strange that the country that's the smallest, I think the smallest one in the Middle East, if not the smallest, is one of, but it's also the only one that has conflict due to religions because their religion is different than all the other ones around it. So don't you think if America was smart, if America really did want to, get into the Middle East and make them democracy, don't you think it would be way easier to do that to one of the Muslim countries instead of the Jewish one that we always have to get in wars with? I mean, I know why we do it. It's not for America's purpose. But knowing what I know, you can kind of think about those other things like, hey, guys, people need to think about that. Like, yeah, Damien's right. Why would USA rub elbows with the one country that's different than all the other ones that we're for sure going to have to, fight their battles? USA's smart. We know better. I know better. But keep on watching the videos. Again, I did not know any of this stuff at this early on in my quest, and this particular video has nothing to do with my quest. It was, well, kind of sort of does. It's just post quest solving thinking, I guess you want to call it. I don't know. Anyways, just think about that. Israel, small, brand new, yet nuclear weapons, and USA befriended the one country that's going to get in fights with all the other ones when they didn't have to. You need to think about that. All right, take care.